A popular UK doctor and YouTuber quit medicine in order to pursue a full-time career in content creation. Now, I'm sure some 10 years ago, if a doctor tells anyone that, oh, I'm quitting medicine to pursue my dream, I'm sure the response is going to be, oh, stop that, you're being unreasonable. Well, this is 2025 and doctors are quitting medicine to pursue their dream. This is Faye. She's a popular content creator. She's a doctor and she has such a huge community. She creates content about women, health, productivity, and just tips to help people, especially women, to live a productive and awesome life. And she's very great at it. Like, she's an amazing content creator. But then a few days ago, she announced that she's going to be quitting medicine in order to pursue a full-time career in content creation.
I felt trapped in a career I'd lost my passion for, but that has all changed because I've quit my job as a doctor to follow my dreams.
When you hear that, you just like, okay, what exactly is going on with the field of medicine? Faye is definitely not the only doctor who has quit medicine in recent time. Some months ago, Zach, who used to be a resident doctor in the US, also announced that he was quitting medicine. And so it's becoming a bit popular compared to what it used to be to find doctors quitting medicine. Now, these are probably like doctors that have a social media presence that we know. There's a possibility that more doctors are quitting medicine, but of course they are not announcing to the whole world, and so we don't know. But then what exactly is really going on? Why are doctors quitting medicine? So I made a video about this some months ago. You might want to check that out, just to exploring some of the popular reasons why doctors are quitting medicine. But then today we're just going to be talking about Faye, just talking about the whole thing about she quitting medicine. Is it really worth it? I watched that video where she shared about why she's going to be quitting medicine, and I was able to pick a few things, and reflecting on those things, I just want to share my thoughts about them, and I think you might want to stick around and probably pick a thing or two from this discussion. And so guys, let's get right into that video. Hello, my name is Blessing and I'm a doctor currently practicing here in the UK. And on this platform, I talk about medicine. I share about my journey as an IMG doctor. So if today is the first time, I want to say you're welcome to join us and we are glad to have you. One of the reasons why she decided to quit medicine and pursue a full-time career in content creation is because she feels like content creation, YouTube especially, has given her a platform to be able to impact lives. And she seems to enjoy it much more than medicine. And she also feels that she is able to make more impact than just being a doctor. And really, I know that sometimes, especially as doctors, we could become fixed on the mindset that in order to impact lives, we have to be in certain position, or we have to be in certain jobs, or we have to have certain advantages. But then I am beginning to realize that in order to make impact, it starts with even the very little things. Sometimes it's not really the big things that a lot of people consider as, or that a lot of people would describe as impactful. It's more about how one is able to influence those group of people with what they already have. It could be your knowledge, it could be your skill, it could even be your person, it could be your personality. There are some qualities that we actually possess that we might not even realize that this is something that can influence or transform another person's life. We could just focus alone on the things that, on the things that are really popular, on the things that, like the popular opinions, like, oh, being a doctor, you're going to be saving lives and you're going to be making impact. Being a doctor is amazing. Being a doctor is a great platform to be able to make impact. But for some person, being a doctor may not give them or provide that satisfaction that they really want in terms of career. And so it's usually best to find that thing that resonates with you, find that thing that you want to do, and medicine should not hold you back. But eventually you're already a doctor, you're a medical student, you're a medic, and I understand medicine is quite tedious, medicine is quite hectic, and it can be time demanding. And so you probably don't want to engage in anything that is going to take out of the little time that you have for yourself. But then I think I also want to say that despite everything that you think medicine is, I think it would be a great disservice to you to allow medicine or being a medic to become a limiting factor for you to be able to explore your potentials. The next thing that I also got from that discussion is that, she said that content creation has given her that financial freedom to live the life that she truly desires. And not just the financial freedom, but also the convenience, the liberty that comes with being able to work at your own pace, at your own convenience. It sounds to me like it's a whole lot of freedom. You're not worried about your finances, and right there you also have that convenience to do things at your own pace. I'm sorry if I'm going to be saying a lot of things in relation to doctors. It's just because I understand that this particular set of people are people who are at risk of becoming overworked, at risk of giving more time to their career as doctors than almost any other thing in their lives, who have to work long hours. Their job is really demanding. And so it's possible that being a doctor has the capacity to limit us. And that is why if one needs to explore outside of the box, then one has to be intentional. It is not something impossible, but it's something that will require probably some sacrifice, some intentionality, and the willingness to really go for what you want. She talked about financial freedom. Your earning as a doctor may not likely be able to provide you that financial freedom, or may not be enough for you to build wealth. Yes, in some societies, doctors are really well paid, but in some societies, you earn enough to get by, to have a comfortable life, to meet your basic needs, but it may not be enough for you to build wealth. And now we're talking about financial freedom, we're talking about early retirement. For a doctor to be able to achieve this, a lot of times, it will usually require that you have another source of income besides your salary, or that you are able to wisely put your salary into use in such a way that it will eventually generate more money. So we are talking about investing and building your financial portfolio. In Faye's case, she talked about her plans to go fund a master's, and she's definitely going to be able to do that only because YouTubers provided her with the financial means to do that. And it sounds to me like it's a very juicy offer to have a job that does not place so much demand on you, something you can do from the convenience of your house. You're not worried about litigations, you're not worried about meeting deadlines. A lot of time is within your control, and yet still generate enough finances for you to be able to meet your needs, and sometimes even much more than you earn as a doctor. Being doctor should not limit us from being able to explore some other possibilities of earning, some other possibilities of developing ourselves. Sometimes it may not even be about earning at the first, initially. It might just be you doing something that really resonates with you, something that you enjoy doing, something that you really want to do, and maybe later it might eventually become something you can earn from. Maybe learning a skill. It could be just a new hobby. Investing some time into this, developing yourself in certain areas. Doing something outside of medicine that eventually you might be able to monetize. In this era of AI and tech, there's a lot of opportunities, things that you can actually do from the convenience of your house and make money without lifting a finger. In her case, she started YouTube in her second year of medicine, and believe me, as a doctor, you know what second year of medicine looks like. You're trying to find your feet to understand what exactly is this medicine thing. There's a lot to read, a lot of new terminologies. You're trying to get adjusted to your role as a medical student, and then having to start this thing. Yes, she had her doubts, she had her fears, but eventually she did. And 5 years down the line, it's become something big. Maybe if we could picture what this thing can become in the next 5 years, that could be an encouragement for us to consider starting these things. And also because nothing is really guaranteed. Things could happen, life events, things could go wrong that could make a person unable to practice as a doctor. So what happens when you don't have something else to fall back on? There have been cases of people having to stop jobs maybe during investigations, doctors losing their license and suspension, and a whole lot of things. So imagine what it will be like when these doctors, they're unable to practice as doctors, and yet they don't have any other source of income. None of these significant events might happen, but just being able to have something else that is able to earn you that income is a whole lot of freedom. Now, the third thing is that having a marketable skill is something that could eventually make you enjoy medicine even much more. How do I mean? Some doctors are stuck with full-time jobs, not because they are not exhausted, not because they want to continue to work full-time, not because the job is not tiring, but only because they can't afford to work less than full-time, because working less than full-time means that it's going to reduce your income, and they can't afford anything that will cause a reduction in their income, because that is their only source of livelihood, that is their only source of income. But then imagine the flexibility that you could enjoy if you have another source of income. So it means that you could be able to practice medicine in a way that is more flexible, and that way you're likely to enjoy it more because you're not burned out, and in a way you're able to achieve a good work-life balance. So it makes it more enjoyable. But that's only because you have an alternative that, okay, I can afford to work less than full-time, and I am still able to make my financial commitments. And finally, I think one thing is sometimes you have to do it without having the full picture, without, do it afraid, do it with, step out with all the doubts. She mentioned that when she started, she was actually afraid. She had doubts. She wasn't sure what it was going to become. She didn't have that confidence at the beginning, but then she was just like, okay, I'm just going to go ahead with it. So sometimes it might not look exactly like, the way you want it to be. You might not have the clear picture and all of that, but that should not limit you. The most important thing is step out. What is it? Do you have this interest? Then pursue it. You don't know, few years down the line, it could become something that you enjoy so much, even much more than medicine, and that you want to consider as a career pathway. So I'm also beginning to learn that if we don't explore, we may never find that we really love something. This is not me saying that, oh, it's okay for doctors to quit, but one thing I found recent times for a lot of doctors who are quitting medicine is because a lot of doctors are overworked. Some have come out to talk about they are experiencing burnout, less satisfaction and fulfillment as doctors, and so many other reasons. This might just be your cue to try and explore something different, something outside of medicine. Being a doctor should not hold you back. Yes, I know that it will demand some of your time, but I think working around the time is something that can be achieved. It could even be something very basic on YouTube, like how to crochet. Eventually, if you put your heart to it, you enjoy it. It could become a very powerful tool for you to impact lives and for your life to be impacted. Are you a doctor and at some point you have considered quitting medicine? Why did you consider quitting medicine? And if eventually you have quit, why did you quit medicine? Feel free to share your thoughts. Or maybe you are in that phase where you're like, oh, medicine is not really giving me that satisfaction, and I'm thinking of what more can I do? Then I guess this video should be for you. So feel free to actually share your thoughts. I want to know what you guys think. Until I see you again, take care. Bye.